Next one's from. We just listened to some here. Next one's from Hornet Gallowagger, and the subject is Punk versus. A report has come out that says CM Punk's initial storyline when he starts with AEW again are CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, CM Punk versus Jay White, and eventually CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. What I'm ready to ask you guys is CM Punk as top babyface running through all the heels again really that good of an idea? I mean, they did that during Punk's 2021-2022 run with AEW, and let's be real, ratings were never that great. Is everyone loses CM Punk really the greatest way to use him at a time when the marks, myself included, of course, know that CM Punk is more or less getting his own way backstage despite all the drama he's caused? Personally, CM Punk should be coming back as a heel, but then again, I don't know a thing about booking. I've been I am completely not interested in anything that CM Punk does beyond the angle with the elite guys and picking the realism up from that and making a storyline out of it and stuff. All this other is just like seriously, what is interesting there? Like these three angles: CM Punk versus Joe, CM Punk versus Jay White, and CM Punk versus Jericho. Is any of that interesting? Like I'm gonna like you're going wow. Any of it?
Maybe for their hardcore fan base, but I wouldn't mind seeing.
Not me, but I'm asking
but
you.
You're not their hardcore fan base.
Okay, well,
but
I'm asking. Okay, then what's your answer?
I would be interested in seeing him against Samoa Joe. I would be interested in seeing him with Jay White, not as much as Samoa Joe, and I would be interested in seeing Jericho. But
why
I'm
would
not
you be
interested
in him against Jay White?
Because I know it'll be a good match, and I like good matches.
That's it. You like it?
Yeah,
I like good angles. I don't like good matches.
Right, I like both. So, but here's the thing: I'm not a fan at all of him coming back as a babyface because, first of all, I got a lot of boos, and he's a way, 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 way better heel. I'd rather have him come back as a heel, then I would be interested.
What about if what they're setting up is he comes back as a babyface, but he's kind of disingenuous, and it's just leading to that heel turn?
Well, that's not a bad idea either.
Maybe
but
build it
I just would. Yeah. I rather, yeah.
Yeah,
but I like him as a heel. I do not like him.
Let's be honest.
He'll kill it as a heel right now.
Let's be very honest. Okay,
we're always honest.
Nobody is interested in anything Punk is doing on that show. But what people are more interested in watching is Punk's first media scrum. Would you?
If he ever does one again.
Well, okay. Let's say for instance, are you more interested in Punk's next media scrum or Punk's next angle on TV?
Oh well.
I just don't think he's going to make the same mistake and do that again because he got so much heat.
Yeah, but I think that's the most interesting stuff.
Scrum, but he signed an NDA about that whole situation, so you're never going to hear about it. So what's the interest in the media scrum?
Well, his next media scrum, just more controversy.
Yeah,
that's my thing. It's like, bro, Punk is like that show is stale right now. And it's like they could have really invigorated that show by bringing Punk back and this reinvigorating all. Bro, it's been stale since Punk's media scrum.
Right.
Since he left. And it's like they're coming back.
Because they never talked about it. The way he punked Page. Page never got his comeback. Nothing.
And if you think about it, too, when Punk first won the title, it probably would have spun off a whole year of angles and matches and all. But he got hurt the first night he had the belt. Remember, he broke his ankle or whatever.
Dude, so they were literally
started the staleness. I think even before he came back.
They were literally like a year ago, maybe a little more than a year, but they did like 1.2 million viewers on one of the shows on a week when Raw did like 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to the point that Jericho, like publicly on stated that it's not going to be long before we're beating the WWE in ratings. Okay, and it's like, bro, they have literally nothing right now to put a dent back into the WWE and everything, except this storyline, like picking it up, the realism and stuff like figuring like they could literally garner a lot of interest, but they're not even going to do that. And it's like, well, what? Like, why am I interested? It's like I watch this show because people like to hear our review. There's literally no reason to watch this show right now. There's nothing going on. Like honestly, Conan, like if you missed AEW this week, what are we missing? There's not there's not a bloodline type angle. There's not like a long like a long running angle going on right now that I'm really. It's a couple of performers that we like, or maybe doing some good things, and like we're interested in them. But it's like for storyline wise, there's nothing to watch on this show. It's not very interesting. I mean, would you agree with that, or like, or am I wrong?
You're muted, Conan.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, there's no interesting storylines or angles right now that I'm really interested in. But maybe that's because they blew up a lot of stuff up at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But,
next is from
one thing I wanted to say real quick before. I just want to confirm that I got this right, so I'm looking it up. Okay, so as far as hot angles, though, Di, you're not interested in the big one that just started, Bryan Danielson and Okada.
God, no.
It's not for you, huh?
So I saw that was that the thing? Because like I didn't listen to the clip, but the Wrestling Observer Live is like one of their head. Let me look at this headline here. By the way, the Wrestling Observer Live is going on Wrestling Observer Radio. Okay, this is one of their headlines for their clips. All right, I'm telling you, hey, Forbidden Door gets a dream match.
Sure.
And new WWE Universal. So what's the dream match?
Bryan Danielson versus Okada. And
that's a dream match.
You know that's a dream match for a lot of the hardcore fans for sure. Yeah, absolutely. People
from Cody, you're muted still, Cody.
Oh yeah, you are, bud.
Because that match has never been seen in the United States. So for these guys,
anywhere.
And for their hardcores, which they over cater to, and that I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you need to get in more people, not just the people you have. That's a dream match for them in the United States.
And Omega versus Ospreay is the other big one. Yeah.
Next is from Mats and Mayhem show, and the subject is AAA title in AEW. What up, players? Just heard your comments of Moxley's criticism of quote old ass bitter dudes with podcasts talk about how the business used to be unquote. My question is, don't you think any current performer, especially older ones like Mox, should be happy there's an outlet like podcasting out there where former performers can still monetize the years of experience they have as wrestlers? If you listen to that clip, I actually talked about that too. All right, so that's
and not only that, bro. He doesn't know when he retires, he might be getting into podcasting or whatever.
Right,
or whatever.
He's gonna have the same form that we have. Yeah. So let me finish the thing here. Also saw the AAA Mega Championship defend on Rampage this week in an excellent match with. Oh my God, this was not okay. I want to talk about this.
I'll find the clip. I'll find the
clip. Vikingo, Jalisco, and Commander.
Did you retweet this clip?
It got taken down, I think, was this part of Conan working things out with Tony Khan? And would Conan ever consider letting the belt change hands a couple times at AEW and landing back with Vikingo to get some well-deserved exposure north of the border for AAA? Best episode of Rampage in a long time because it heavily featured AAA, New Japan, and Ring of Honor talent instead of C-level AEW guys that haven't figured out real gimmicks and storylines for. I hope Jay White gets over on AEW so he could release an Addicted to the Switchblade shirt and put Joe out of business. Oh my God!
Put him out of business.
He's got a podcast. Yeah,
I think that doesn't get him up to suspension.
That show.
Yeah, first of all, this is bro. You sound like a Mark. I mean, you get a. This sounds like a Mark podcast. Do you have the clip, Joe?
Oh, what's the guy's name?
Mayhem, and what's it called?
No, but what's the host name?
Justin Harvey.
Okay, very cool guy. Sorry, Justin, but you asked for it.
Yeah, he's still suspended. Do you have the clip, Joe?
Right. Yeah, it was taken down. I'm still trying to find it though.
Did you see Conan? Were you watching on the monitor the Vikingo, Jalisco, and Commander match?
Yep.
What did you think of the match?
It's a good match. It's a lucha match.
It was not a good match. It was horrible.
No, that's
bro.
Okay.
What was this?
That's your opinion, bro. That's your opinion.
They were doing some shit.
Give a
that even if they did that in AAA, I would have heat with it.
Okay, show me what it is.
The spot where they were doing the drills. They were literally doing the crossbody drills. Where you do the drop down and they jump over you and drop down and they jump over.
Yeah.
The drop down drill. They did the drop down drill in the middle of a wrestling match.
Right. That's a lucha spot.
That's a spot in lucha wrestling?
Yeah.
They do that spot in the middle of matches? That's a drill you do when you're warming up.
Okay, well they do it in lucha matches.
Right, well, I'm going to condemn. you can get heat with me for this, but I'm condemning that spot. All right, so I'm going to condemn that spot. Joe, do you think that's a put that down, mark it down, spot condemned?
Spot condemned.
Okay, by me, yes. The drop down spot on Rampage, and put Rampage, Rampidge,
yeah.
Rampage. All right, I did not like that spot. Next is from Liam McCarthy. The subject is AEW deal. What are your views on what Tony said? The fact AEW get a new show, but Warner Brothers didn't extend the contract any further. I would think this is a bad sign, as Dynamite would have been extended if they were so happy. An extra show they aren't saying the money on suggests issue to me. Also, Disco, my name is Liam. Again, think William canceled the will, and you will get there. I think William Lim. Lim? That's the guy's name, Lim?
William. So Liam.
Liam. Okay, I call him Liam. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not taking your suggestion. I read it as Liam.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hell with him.
Thanks in advance. Keep up the good work. Enjoy the content whilst I'm based in China. Oh, so he's in China. All right, Liam. First of all, but like I said, I don't know what metrics AEW looked at to where they felt they should add more content. They subtracted 2 shows on YouTube to add a show on TV. So that's kind of maybe that they had 4 shows, then they had 3. So maybe they are decreasing content, but bro, their numbers are underwhelming. I'm like, now you're putting more stuff you have to put effort in and stuff. I think it could actually create maybe lower ratings for the other shows. I don't know. I mean, until this show starts improving and getting more interesting, I'm not interested in watching any of these shows. What do you think?
Well, I just think that, they obviously gave him another show because he was doing good enough ratings to get one. Because, it isn't easy getting a show on a powerful station like that. And you got to remember that as low as their ratings are, or they're not as high as when CM Punk was there, every time that I read Tony or the Observer, he's first in his time slot and his night, or third, usually first or third. And that's good ratings for that network, That's all I can say. And they're getting extra money, and I'm sure they're getting extra money. Bro, that place, there's so many guys there. It's ridiculous, because I was sitting next to, I won't say his name so he doesn't get heat, but a veteran that's a friend of the show. And he was like, because there's just way too many people here. And I went into the dressing room. It was like a subway. I mean, it was just packed with people dressing in the hallways. A lot of people that they don't really do much with.
Right.
All right. Here's this spot from Rampage in the AAA Mega Championship match.
Let's watch this.
Sorry, it starts right away. So.
All right.
Okay.
So rewind.
I gotta go back. Yeah.
So rumor has it that Conan was the agent for this.
Yeah,
that is true. So I want to say that you absolutely called this first.
I don't work for AEW.
Well, you were with those guys. You told them to do this spot. That's my sources tell me.
Here's the opening segment that people who are not Lucha fans, I guess, really criticized on Twitter. The beginning. It's right at, yeah.
Bro, I saw the match, Joe.
I want our viewers to watch this.
I'm not telling him to take it off.
Yeah.
All right. What are they doing there? That's a drop down drill, correct?
Okay, that's also a Lucha spot. Bro, you don't watch Lucha.
I've seen
so to you it's funny or different or stupid or whatever, but I don't give up what you think.
You do.
Or what the people... No, I don't.
You should care what I think. You should care what I think.
Well, not on Lucha because you don't know about it.
I know that would look ridiculous, okay? Next is from Curtain Down. The subject this is an interesting one. Chris Candido.
Mm-hmm.
Question for Conan and Joe, because you guys have good takes on this stuff. I just watched a Chris Candido episode of Dark Side of the Ring. It's so... First of all, question for why do you guys have good takes on this stuff? This is interesting. It's so sad what happened to him, and even though he didn't make it into being a top draw in the industry, seems like behind the scenes he was beloved. My question is, do you think that he would ever be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
No.
I only ask because a lot of the top names in WWE, Triple H and HBK, treated him like shit, and him being inducted might bring back all of those old stories. What do you guys think? Second question for Conan and Disco this time. Do either of you guys have any stories about working with Chris Candido? I will say this. Chris Candido was
you were not a fan of Candido, right?
No, I was a fan of his work. But I literally, like, Vince brought up in the booking meeting one time, hey, Candido wants to get his job back. And I was like, Vince, you can't bring this guy back. He's a junkie.
Yeah.
And he was a junkie. He was like, bro, he was a good performer and a friendly guy. But the guy had serious drug problems. He would literally, like, he was flying out of an airport. Like, he would connect in an airport somewhere. I forget this. I may have the details of the story wrong. But he was, like, taking flights where he was connecting in Pittsburgh or something, wherever. But somebody was meeting him at the airport during his layovers and like, he was doing Nubane in the bathrooms at the airports. Yikes. Like, shooting the stuff as, like, bro, he was a junkie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Remember in WCW, his wife got caught with Nubane. I think Kimberly was the one and they fired him.
Right. And it's like, so, like, what are you going to do? You can't, the guy's a good performer, but it's like, the guy needs a job because he needs money to support his drug habit. So what do? You hire the guy, you hire a junkie so he can have money for his drug habit? And
possibly embarrass the company or die.
Right.
Contract,
I mean, everybody got along with the guy, but they knew he was, and the funny thing was, he was never like up at the shows or anything. He was always professional at work. But it was like just afterwards, he was just a junkie.
Yeah, you'd see him in the hotel and he was.
Yeah, it's a mess.
But he cleaned up, and then you guys, you would have been at TNA when he came in for that brief period before he passed, right? So was he?
No, I'm talking about this was WCW.
Right. But I'm asking in TNA, what was your experience like? Was he different? He was.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay. I honestly don't. But were you there at the pay-per-view when he broke his ankle just before he died? Because that's what inevitably led to his death. He got a blood clot during surgery for that. I don't know.
I was there when that happened. But anyways, and the only stories that I have about Candido are two stories that I can think of real quick. When I wanted to go back to ECW, when I had that big fight with Eric Bischoff, when that meeting where Raven walked out the door and then he wanted to fire me and all that. Okay. So I had called Paulie and Chris Candido answered me and we were talking and he was telling me that Paulie owed him $30,000 for plane flights that he had put on his credit card.
Yep.
And I go, why are you still working for him? I couldn't believe that. That was one thing. And number two, I remember when I was in Puerto Rico and I was on my way out and I recommended Sabu to come in and Chris Candido was there with
Tammy.
Sonny and Tammy. Was it Tammy? Yeah, Tammy. And Tammy was really overweight. And you know how the white skin kind of like Joe's? She has like that skin. So when you get sunburned, you look like pink.
Like a lobster.
Right. So, bro, I'm going down to the beach and coming out of the beach is Chris Candido, like a buff, short guy with teeny little briefs. What's this girl's name?
Tammy, yeah.
Tammy coming out of the beach looking like some bloated lobster. And then Sabu with all the cuts and all that and the hair scraggly and seaweed on him. He looked like a sea monster. It was the most oddest sight if you didn't know who they were.